Yeah.
We are live.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? I have my special guest. His name is Neil from Nocturnal Nation.
How you guys doing tonight?
And so remember, if you have any questions, you put them all in caps so we can see them better.
Yes, please. You see these things on my
So,
face?
me too. Okay, so in the chat tonight we have well, my chat's jumping and everything. So I see
Okay.
Rooted, I see Ida, Dirty South, I see Zodiac, Hawk Paranormal, Brenda. I'm glad
Yeah.
you all came tonight. So we're gonna start.
Okay.
I would like to know why you named your channel Nocturnal Nation.
Okay, that's an interesting story. I was with another team on another channel, which I'm not supposed to say the name of the other team because we've had that agreement when we split. But I wanted to start this channel up because I didn't want to quit investigating because I've been doing this for a while now, and I was like, just because we split doesn't mean I'm going to stop. So I actually came up with the name of Neil's Nocturnal Adventures. And I was talking to one of my friends about it, and he was like, dude, that is too close to Ghost Adventures. You do not want that. He said, I'm going to come up with a name for you. Give me 5 minutes. And in 5 minutes, he came up with Nocturnal Nation. So that's my friend, Warhammer 2000.
Okay. And so, how do you do your investigations exactly? Like,
You, you know from seeing my videos that my number one tool is my dowsing rods. I always start off an investigation making first contact with dowsing rods to make sure that the spirits are there. And I'm also an empath, and I'm able to sense the spirits. And at the beginning of my journey down this whole paranormal field, I was using spirit boxes and stuff like that, which I'm not against them at all. I love them. I still use them occasionally. We used mine last night. Um, but as I have grown as an empath, I've started relying more on my senses. And I found as an empath by doing that, I'm actually able to get more from that than I can from a spirit box. Um, Myself and Brenda and Billy Hawkins from Hawk Paranormal, we do a lot of collabs together, and
yeah,
the two of them are also both empaths, and all three of us are now able to see as well as has the empath ability. And when we get together, it's so funny. Like last night, we were at Lydia's Haunted Bridge, and here in North Carolina, and the way we play off of each other, we feed off of each other's energies, and it is amazing. But going back to how I conduct my investigations, when I'm by myself, I normally don't mess with the spirit box. Now that I've gotten more used to the empath stuff, so now it's normally just myself and the dowsing rods. And occasionally, if I'm not getting the answers that I'm looking for, I'll use a spirit box and Necrophonic or one of these other apps that I have on my devices. But when I go into an investigation, I go into it already knowing where I'm going to be at. I think being prepared beforehand is a very important step. A lot of people take that, they don't even do that. They just jump right in blind, and that's how people end up getting hurt, and how people end up getting having really bad reactions from the spirits. If you go in prepared, you go in, you studied up, you know the place you're going to go, got a basic idea of the spirits that are there, and you're probably not going to know all of them until you're actually there. But yeah, that's how I conduct my investigations. But I like doing the studying on them. I like being able to really get to know the spirits on a personal level, because I truly believe, and I say this frequently, that the spirits are still human. They're just in a different form. and
Hmm.
they deserve the exact same kind of respect that you and I do, and
Yeah.
it's very important to me that that happens.
Okay. And when you're not doing videos, what do you do? Do you have a job or?
I don't. I'm a disabled veteran. I was in the Army during Desert Storm. I fell down a 2-story balcony head first, and because of that, I've started having seizures and tremendous amount of pain that I have to deal with all the time. But that's life. So that's what I
And
do now.
okay. And what do you do? How did you feel the first time you noticed that you didn't need special equipment to see or hear?
It
What was
was
your feelings at that
I,
point? How did you feel about that?
the first time it ever happened. Honestly, I was scared to death. I was because I was alone. I was doing a solo investigation, and that's when I decided, for some strange reason, at nighttime on a battlefield, Civil War battlefield, by myself, I decided, hey, I'm going to try this, and I did. And like I said, the first time, it startled me because the answers that was getting um, was so detailed. And I always check them with the dowsing rods, and occasionally I'll check them with the dowsing rods and with a spirit box. But
Yeah.
it really it terrified me, and honestly, I didn't know if I was going to even want to continue doing that or not. Just how much it scared me at first, but the more I do it, it's like second nature now.
Okay. And we can like also call you to come and investigate at our house, right?
Oh yeah,
Or
definitely. I do homes, I do businesses, um, cemeteries, graveyards, abandons. It don't matter. I do it all. I'm a former Satanist. I'm a former preacher. I was a Baptist preacher for a good amount of years, and because I have that history, I am able to do exorcisms, and I cleanse houses, and I'm able to help spirits cross over to the other side.
yeah. I saw a video where you were cleansing. I don't know if it was like a town hall. I can't remember.
Yeah, it was an old train depot. Yeah,
An old train depot. That was
yeah.
so interesting, guys. If you want to see that video, you have to head over to his channel. It's I swear you won't regret that visit for sure. I really enjoyed this one. It's amazing the work he does. I'm sure
Thank you.
you won't be disappointed. So, does the chat have any questions? So
I'm an
that's
open
it.
book.
We can, yeah. Yeah, they're still saying hi to each other and
Oh,
everything.
okay. Yeah.
Hi, Ida, Adzi, Gulf Coast. I think I saw Adam go by at one point. There's
And my man Eric
Forrest.
Zen Urbex. What's up, dude?
Yeah,
Forrest
that's
Raven.
my
What's
husband,
up? Eric's your husband?
Eric Zenerbix. Yeah.
What's up, Eric? I didn't know that was your husband.
So,
For real. I had no idea.
oh no. Yeah, we sort of like go explore together, and
Oh,
he
that's
does his
cool.
version, I do my version. So yeah, you've like last night you did a live, and
Yeah.
you're doing one for 8 o'clock tonight too.
Yeah.
But it's the after of what you filmed and did a live, or it's
No,
totally something else still.
tonight I'm actually interviewing Hawk Paranormal, Brendan Billy. Um,
Okay.
I just put out a my schedule. Excuse me, my new upload schedule today. Um, Starting effective immediately, or actually after Saturday. Um, all of my premieres will be on Mondays at 7 o'clock, followed immediately by what I call the after show when I get on and you know, with whoever. Like for example, if I'm at someone's home, I'll invite them on the after show with me to talk about their experience while I was there, and
Yeah.
then we'll just take questions from the panel, like I mean from the chat, like what you're talking about doing now. But I
Okay.
do that on Mondays, and on Thursdays, I upload just the regular uploads, and then on the first and third Fridays of each month, I do interviews where I interview other people.
Okay. We have a question from Zodiac Nation. He says, Neil, what is the spookiest place yep have ever been?
Oh my God, there are so many of them. You know, up until last night, I would have said the
Yeah,
House of Pain. I would have said
yeah.
the House of Pain last night. But after what happened last night, I'm gonna say it's Lydia's Haunted Bridge. There was so much that went on in that place. I can hardly wait for you guys to see the videos that myself and Hulk Paranormal puts out, because we caught so much. We did, and not only in the video, but also on my EVP recorder, we caught a male, I know a female voice at the end of the investigation that we didn't even know was even there. And let's see what else. Oh, also, we got a lot of photographs that's going to be included, and some of the photographs will absolutely blow your mind. It really will.
Oh, okay. And Nicole Perron has a question. You did both preacher and Satanist. What made you go from one to the other? Wow.
Oh, that's a very interesting question.
Yeah.
Okay,
Wow.
this is how I got started in all this. Okay, when I was 18 years old, I was in a heavy metal band, and back then, and I'm talking in the mid '80s. So I'm telling my age here a little bit.
Yeah, I
That
think
was the
we're the same age.
that was the thing to do back then. You know, as a metal band. That's, I mean, that it was part of the as the image, if you would. But we took it further
Yeah.
than that. We didn't just go with the image. We actually did the whole thing. Everybody in the band were Satanists, and that's what we did. We attended a satanic church. Um, I practiced witchcraft for a while, and honestly, what got me out of that is our drummer died while he was in it. He got electrocuted, and he blew his heart out. And
Hmm.
what's so bad is the day before that, he called me up. He said, "Neil, man, I want to quit. I want to get out of this because I just feel like I'm going to die." I'm like, "Dude, you're not going to die. You're like a pair of jeans. You're just going to fade away." And the next morning, I got woke up by his cousin telling me he got electrocuted that night.
Wow.
So that was really excuse me,
Unbelievable.
a changing point for me. And from there up until I was in my mid 40s, I didn't attend church. I wasn't a Satanist anymore. I was just floating, if you will. And then when I was in my 40s, I decided I was going to go to church with my wife. And from there, I accepted the call to preach, and I preached for oh my God, almost over 10 years. Over 10 years, I preached, and things happened within the church that I don't care to get into. It kind of soured me toward the whole religious aspect of everything,
Okay.
and that was
And we
kind of
have another question here from Ida. She says, have you ever, I can see it, okay, ever been to an investigation that made you leave or even feel like you had, wait, you had,
she had to run out of there. I think is what she said.
yeah, run out of there?
Yeah, I have several times, as a matter of fact, at the House of Pain, and that house lives up to its name very well. I have been
Yes.
pinned. Yeah, it does. I've been pinned against the wall there by Ed, which is the dominating spirit there. He
Yeah.
had this part of his arm against my chest, so tied up against the wall that I couldn't even lift my chest off the wall. If it hadn't have been for the guy that was with me, I don't know what would have happened. But he grabbed my hand and pulled me off the wall, and that should have been my cue to get the hell out of there. But I'm a little on the stupid side, so I stayed. And because I did, I continued to get touched, scratched, whispers in my ears, and it is only ramped up from there. Now every time we go back there, it's the same way. I'm not always getting pinned against the wall, but I'm constantly getting touched. I'm constantly getting the vibes, the feelings. And the crazy thing is, as soon as it warms up a little bit toward the end of this month, I'm doing an overnight there. That's
Yeah,
just
because you found you once you get to 100 subscribers, you were going to do an exorcist at
Yep,
that house.
yep,
So
yep.
that's
Well, actually,
what's
the
going to be.
exorcism is going to take place in late spring, early summer. We're going to have to
Okay.
exercise the father, the husband. We're going to have to get rid of him first because the female spirits, and
Yeah.
there's 3 females there. They are all good people. They really are, but they're trapped. They can't move. They can't do anything. And it's so weird because the dad, Ed, whenever we're there, he tends to shut the females up. He don't want them to talk because he don't want his dirty secrets to come out. But that's
Yeah.
one of the places that I went to, and there's been several places like that. Graveyards I've been knocked down in. Just I've been thrown across the floor. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Okay. And Mrs. Hawk would like to know why you chose Hawk Paranormal to collab all the time with, or most of the time.
Cause it's my brother and sister. Brenda, you know you're my sis from another miss, and Billy, you're my brother from another mother. We really work so good together. We do. It's crazy how well we work together. I was just telling them last night on the way back home. I said, "No, I don't want you guys to get all crazy about what I'm about to say, but man, we work so good together. I just love you guys. It's so crazy
Well, you're an amazing team. Like one has each other's back all the time. Like you're
all the
always
time."
behind each other's back, for protection.
Yeah,
If one of the 3 of you feel something, they say it right away. And, you
yeah,
know, I really like the combination that the 3 of you do together.
yeah.
It's really awesome. And before somebody asks, I'll ask, did you ever bring something home with you? But I know the answer.
Have I
But
ever? I've had. Let's see if I can count them. At least 5 attachments that I know of that are brought home with me. Um, and none of them have been good ones. One of which was Elizabeth, and she was the one that was with us at Dover House whenever you and Maria and Rebel Rose were in that room with me when I was live. You remember that time?
yeah,
Um,
that was creepy.
yeah. Well, my attachment that I had at the time that I thought she was a good spirit, and she was the one who kept getting angry. And the whole time on the way home, we were thinking she was angry because we took her there. But it
Okay.
it it come out, like the next night, and she was angry because I never asked her if she wanted to cross over. And she quickly turned from a what seemingly a good spirit to a very, very negative one. And it was so bad that I was really scared that if I didn't get her, because she had attached herself inside of me. And I felt that if I didn't get her out of me pretty soon, she was going to really physically hurt me. So yeah, I had to get her out quickly.
Okay, so she's gone now.
Oh yes.
Okay. And because she went with you at the mausoleum too.
Yes, she did.
And she was backing off bad spirits away from you, from
Yeah.
touching you.
Yep.
She was like a warrior for you.
She was, and that's
Okay.
that's
And
why I kind of hate the fact that she turned out to be an evil spirit, because she could have been a very good part of what I do, but that's just the way it happens sometimes.
because I remember you asking the other family spirits in your yard to greet her as a family member also.
Right, I did, and they were so willing to welcome her in, and the fact that my and I call them my family because I've been living with them for almost 14 years now, and it's a family of 5 slaves that were on this property, and they welcomed
Okay.
Elizabeth in so with such open arms that to me that signified that she was a good spirit. But I think showing them also what they wanted to see.
Okay. Hawk is saying, Neil, tell them about last night. We already did. Have to
Oh,
keep
in
it
the
for the
car.
video.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you about what happened in the car on the way home last night. Excuse
Oh,
me.
in the car. Okay,
Yeah,
sorry, Hawk.
this was really strange, and none of us knew that this was going to happen. And while we were at the Lydia's Bridge, I don't want to give too much away from the video. There was a male spirit there, and I'm just going to call him the dad. I'm just going to say that. Had no idea that this was going to happen, but he actually attached himself to me. And he was such a negative spirit even while we were there doing the investigation. And I didn't realize that he was with me, that he was even on me until Brenda asked me how I was feeling. And because she picked it up immediately. And when she asked me, I was like, wow, it was like a light bulb went off in my head. I started sensing him. He actually wrapped his hands around my neck and was choking me. He was trying to strangle me out. I had the marks on the back of my neck that he took pictures as proof for it. So I told Billy, I said, dude, you're going to have to quickly get the sage, the anointing oil, and my cross, and you're going to have to get this thing off of me. And he did. We had that car smoked up like Cheech and Chong. Smoke was rolling out of that car, but it was all sage, guys. I promise. But he left.
Yeah.
He left, and immediately when he left, all of us in the car were like, "Wow, what a difference in the way the car feels now."
Yeah, it's less heavy, like the vibe
Yeah,
and everything.
yeah, it is.
Okay. And Ida wants to know, what do you use as protection when you go investigate and
Okay,
stuff?
I use this. Let me show you. You see it on my hand here? It's a black onyx. I wear that all the time, and for the most part, it does ward off the evil spirits. It's for negative spirits. It wards off negative spirits, but it's a black onyx in a bead form that has the writings from I forget which monks it is. There was monks that had inscribed their prayers on this, and I have that with me, and I keep it with me all the time. I use that. I have anointing oil that I use. I use my anointing oil whenever I'm doing exorcisms, of course. I carry my cross with me all the time. When I know I'm going to go in a situation where I got to do an exorcism, I always take a couple of Bibles with me because it's just something I have to have. And of course, sage.
Hmm. Yeah. And where can we get ourselves a necklace like that?
This is going to sound really stupid, but I got mine off Wish, the little app
Okay.
Wish. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I was looking for something. I was looking for a crucifix when I found this, and I did a lot of research on it before I bought it because you know how I don't want to bad name the company, but you know how they can be sometimes.
Yes.
So I was really careful. I researched it out before I purchased it, and it has been one of the best investments that I made.
Okay. And do you think it's better oil or water, holy water for?
Um, it varies really. Anointing oil you have to use for one part of an exorcism because you got to actually form the cross on the head. Um, yeah, you have to do that. And with the
Okay.
holy water, it's good for other purposes, like whenever you come across a person who has a demonic spirit within them. I'm sure everybody has seen it on TV and the movies and stuff, but they do a really poor job portraying how it actually is. Is you do
Yeah.
have to sprinkle the holy water, but they don't burn like acid and stuff. I mean, that's TV,
No,
movies, Hollywood.
no. Because you have a video on your channel of you purifying a couple.
Yeah.
Am I mistaken, or
No, no,
I
no,
think
no.
I saw it.
No, I've done that. I've been able to make holy water and holy anointing oil, and it's just really simple. When I'm making holy water, I always use distilled water because it has to be the purest water that I can have. And
Yeah.
then I just pray over that, and ask for the blessings on the water. And the same thing with my oil that I use. I use extra virgin olive oil, and I do the same thing with it. I pray over it and ask for blessings on it, and it always
Okay.
seems to work.
Do we have to be like a preacher or something to bless, or let's say virgin oil
You do.
or water, or anybody can do it?
No, you need to have some kind of I don't know the right word to
Back
use. You got to have the I don't know the right words to use, but you got to have it. Whatever it is I'm trying to say.
yeah. Okay. But what would happen if I would take a little jar of oil and go see my priest or minister? Would he do it for me? Do you
He
think?
may, depending on the preacher, really. When I was practicing, I would have, but there are some also in the denomination that I was with that wouldn't. Matter of fact, the majority of the Baptist religion frowns on exorcisms.
Okay. Okay. So guys, if did I miss a question? Just type it back in big letters so we can see. Let's just check and see. Mark B says, I wear a silver cross for protection. Nothing better than that.
Silver cross, yeah, those are good. And that's one thing I recommend if you're going to do wear a cross. Um, I would go with silver. Gold is good, but silver to me, it just has a different feel to it.
Okay.
And as far as like the cross that I carry around with me, it's a wooden cross.
Okay. And so now today you just put out a video explaining when you're going to go live and when's your premieres and all that. So you can go, that's the latest video you have out.
Yeah, I
So
did that
that's
yesterday.
like saying, do you have any locations on a bucket list that you want to get to?
I do actually. The biggest one, which just came about last night for me, um, is myself, Hawk Paranormal. We are going to do an investigation in Tennessee, Gatlinburg, in July, and I'm super stoked about that place. Super stoked.
Uh,
Um, I love investigating all places. Really, to me, I don't have any kind of place that I would turn down.
okay. And are you going to do some more readings, live readings, like with your pendulum and the dowsing rods, like you did before?
I
Are
am.
they going?
I was kind of more or less experimenting with it, by not experimenting by using it because I use it all the time, but experimenting with doing the readings on live like this. That was the first time I ever tried doing that, and I was so amazed at the answers that I was getting. They were well, you were there, and it was spot on.
Yeah. Yeah. And what you said for me is exactly what was going on at that time. So
That
you're
is
going to do
true.
this
Yeah, I am.
on
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I'm going to go about doing it. I thought about at one time of doing it once a month, and then after rethinking it, I decided to do it on occasions, and I may eventually go to doing it once a month. Um, I spoke with Cassie from Oracles. You know what I'm talking about. Um,
yes.
and she actually suggested that I get a set of Oracle cards and try using those. And so
Yeah.
that's going to be my next big purchase. Not a big purchase, but my next purchase.
Yeah. Okay. So did anybody ask any questions? I bought my on a website. Okay, Gulf Coast Girl said she bought her oil from a website.
Have you used it yet? And if so, what is the results? I'm curious about that.
Did you use it? I don't know if she had the chance to use it or
And I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm curious to see if she has.
Yeah, maybe she's typing her answer in there.
Yeah, maybe so. Gulf Coast girl.
Yeah. Don't want to put you on the spot, but we're really curious.
Yeah, I would like to know if you've used it or not.
Okay, and besides your equipment that you use for your investigations, like for video and camera, what do you use exactly? Do you
My
have
main. Go ahead.
No, I was done. Do you just use your phone or you have a night vision camera and all this?
I personally I use a Google Pixel 5 phone. That's what I use for my camera. I'm a full-on Android guy. I love the Android devices so much better than I do the iPhones, but y'all don't hate me for it and don't unsubscribe to me just because I said that. I love my Androids, man, and Google, in my opinion, has the best there is because it has the cameras that picks up in low light, and I love that fact. I use that.
Okay.
I have the little I forget what you call it. It's the little thing that holds your phone. You tote it around with you, and I got
Okay.
that. I got a tripod. Yeah, yeah,
The ray.
yeah. I got
You
that. My
have the ray.
tripod.
Yeah. Okay. She says it works well, and she used it. Yes, I
Very
purchased it.
good.
Yeah. Oh well, that's good to know. At least
From
if you want to
Jerusalem. Yeah,
order.
yeah. That's a good place to get it from if you're going to get it.
Yeah, I think so. uh, and what else? They don't have lots of questions,
They
or I'm
don't.
missing.
Come on, guys. You gonna
They're
make me ask my own
talking.
questions?
Eh?
They're gonna make me ask my own questions.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, so you, when you started your channel, you were planning on what was like the reason for? Did you have like, oh, I want to keep this as a diary for me, or I want to show how it's really done?
I wanted everyone to see that I wasn't crazy. And let me back up and you'll understand what I'm talking about. When I was in third grade, that's when I had my first paranormal experience. Um,
Oh,
we lived on a farm at the time, and my routine was to come home off the school bus, drop off my books in the home, and go to the farm where my parents were. And I did that every day. Just like clockwork every time. This particular day, I came home from school, got off the school bus, dropped my books off at home. I was headed out the house to go to the farm, and my feet hit the step to go to the farm. A lady's voice from inside the house said, "Please don't leave me." And nobody was in the house. And I told my mom and dad about it, and they were like, "Oh, it was your imagination." No, it wasn't. About 2 years later, where we lived at the time, then we had this is how country we were. We had a screened-in back porch, and our bathroom was actually on the screened-in back porch. And I had gotten in the bathtub, and excuse me, while I was in the bathtub, I seen the cold water faucet to the sink turn itself on, and water was coming out. And I stood up in the bathtub and screamed my head off. My mom and dad come running in because they thought something bad had happened to me, which it did. But I told them what had happened. They said, "Oh, you just forgot to cut the water off." No, I never cut it on. So from that point on, it's given kind of a thing of mine to prove that what I actually saw, I actually did see, and that spirits really are real. And
okay.
that was my whole purpose.
Okay. And did you teach yourself how to get rid of the spirits, or you had, since your background,
Well,
you knew how?
yeah, it came from my background really. I know
Okay.
as a Satanist, you know, and as I said earlier, I was doing the witchcraft stuff while I was doing that, so I had already had a basic idea of the spirits and how to manipulate them, if you will. And then from that point,
Hmm.
as a teacher, I learned even more about the spirits, and I was able to use all that information together to now be able to do what I do.
Okay. Do you carry a Bible with you?
Um, occasionally, occasionally I
Occasion.
will. Yeah. If I know, like I said earlier, if I know I'm gonna go to a situation where there's an exorcism, I'll carry one with my in my bag with me. I actually have
Okay.
a book with the rites of exorcism written out in it so that I'll make sure I never forget it. So I always have that with me and a Bible with me when I'm going to a place like that.
Okay. Mark has a question. He's asking, do you currently have spirits in your house? And if so, are they respectful to you?
I do, and they are. Um, as I said earlier, I have a family of 5 slaves that live on this property. And this was not the property they were on as slaves, but they were given this property by their slave master once they became free in the late 1800s. That the Bruce
Okay.
family, and they are very respectful. The mom of the family as is actually a protector of me and my family. She has told us several times, you know, that she watches over us, you know, and I feel very secure with her, and the daughter as well. The daughter's name is Denise, and she is also very, very respectful.
Okay. And I think I saw some other questions that went up. Let me see if I can find them again.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. Yeah, Brenda put this one up here. Do you have any place that you really would like to investigate?
yeah, that's one I was
And I
looking
do.
for.
The place I
It's
really
like
want to go
on,
that I haven't been able to go to yet, but I plan on going maybe even this summer sometime. If not the summer, then maybe the fall. Is Old South Pittsburgh Hospital in Tennessee. Um, I've heard lots and lots of stories about this place. There's so many hauntings there that for me to get in there, that'll be like on my bucket list thing.
okay. And I have Nicole. She said she wants to know, how long have you been investigating?
Well, I've been dealing with the paranormal for over 40 years. I've been investigating for 2 years, or a little more than 2 years.
Okay. And let me see if there was something else. Let me see. Okay, no. So, guys, I just want to remind you that we at 8 o'clock, Neil is going to have a live stream on his channel, and he's going to do an interview too, but he's going to interview Hawk Paranormal. He's here in the chat, so if you want to see who you've been chatting with, you can jump over to his channel and see
Definitely.
them talk to each other and how they are simplicity. That's what we say in French there. Simplicity
Simplicity.
together. That how good they
Oh,
as
oh
a
yeah.
team
Oh
they
yeah.
are.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
how
we
did
do
you
it really well.
decide to? Okay, I'm gonna investigate what Hawk is Billy.
Yeah.
So like
It's very
how did this?
interesting.
Were you friends in real life,
Well,
or you
actually,
met on?
no, we met actually. I think it was through Facebook, if I'm not mistaken. Billy, was it Facebook or YouTube? I can't remember. It was one of the two. We met each other through there, and he knew what we were doing, and he knew some of the places we were going to. This one particular place, Carver Cemetery, the haunted graveyard, is very, very haunted. And he was like, "Man, I want to check that place out, man. I want to go." I'm like, okay, dude. Next time we go, I'll let you know. You come along with me. So he came and he brought Brenda with him, and instantly, man, it was like we knew each other our whole lives. It's amazing when
Wow.
you can meet someone like that you've never actually met before, and then when you meet them, you're like, "Damn, dude, you sure we're not twins?"
And another thing, J and M asked, "What's your equipment you use when you investigate?"
My number one thing that I use is my dowsing rods. No, let me take that back. Let me rephrase that. My number one thing that I use is my senses as an empath. I use that. That's
Yeah, because
the one I rely on the most. And
yeah,
anybody
because
who
you
does any
really don't.
investigations, yeah, anybody who does any investigations, you need to know that you need to trust your own self more than any piece of equipment that you have, because
Mhm.
especially when dealing with electronics, because they sometimes can give you false readings. But if you listen to yourself and you tune into the spirits and don't doubt yourself, you'll find you'll have great results from that. But those are my two favorite things, man. I will also use pendulum and dowsing board. I use that. I have two different EMF meters that I use. I use cat balls, my EVP recorder. I have laser grid lights. Just a myriad of different things that I like to use.
Yeah. Okay. Ida has a question. Was this slave family already there in your house, or did they follow you an from an investigation?
No, dear, they were already here. As a matter of fact, the first, I'm going to say 5 years that we were here, I didn't even know they existed here. The way I found out about them is my son and his friends were out in my garage working on the cars, just being guys, goofing off, doing what they do, and they were playing around with me about seeing something in the corner, and I was like, "Man, you guys are full of crap." But I actually broke out dowsing rods, and spoke to them and realized, dang, there is actually a spirit family on my property, and over the next 6 or 7 months, we really built a good relationship with each other. For that whole period of time, I spoke to them literally every day, a couple of hours at a time, every day. I got to know them. They got to know me. They got to know my family. My family trusts them. I trust them. Um, I can tell you this much, that if a living person comes on my property that has a bad energy, a negative energy, my slave family will not let them come inside my house. They have
Okay.
been here. They are very good people.
Okay. I remember some live streams because we went to the same channels, you and me and Hawk.
Right.
And sometimes I see Mrs. Hawk say, just the guys are going this one. I'm leaving this to the guys.
Right.
Is it because she's too scared, or she knows something bad will be coming, or
It depends on the situation, really. Um, one example is, and Brenda, I love you, Shug, but she don't like Bigfoot.
Brenda? I forgot her name. That's
Yeah,
why.
she don't like Bigfoot, and we've been on an investigation, the three of us, where we actually encountered a Bigfoot, and now I can't get her to go back out of that location again. She won't go with us. But as far as the other ones go, anytime that we had to do exorcisms, um, she don't come, and that, I don't want her to. I really don't. I don't want anything to jump on her and hurt her.
Okay.
That's why Billy and I, we do this together, and we get rid of whatever's there.
Mhm. Like you did one this week. You were in, like, I think it's the wife invited you, and you went in the room, in the bedroom, and we
Yes.
really saw her husband that passed away was sitting on the bed, and you saw the bed, guys. It went like that there. You really saw it.
Yeah.
And
That was
how
a
did it
very moving.
did I lost my power that night, so I didn't see the rest of it. I have to go back and check.
Okay.
So what winded up happening?
Well,
Like,
that whole, let me pull my map back a little bit so I can sit back. My the whole thing about that thing was that when we got there, we didn't know that one of the spirits that was in there was actually there, and it ended up being an evil spirit. And after we finished talking with the husband, we made everybody else leave the house except for me and Billy, and we exorcised the house and got rid of them. But as far as the husband goes to that wife, um, it ended up being a very good time. You know, she was able to get some answers that she needed. Um, I don't know, like you said, your power went out, so you weren't able to see the entirety of the video.
no, I just saw the part where I arrived in late, and where I arrived, you were already in the bedroom, and
Okay,
I sort of figured, okay, that's her husband, and
yeah,
you know,
it is, and
but then
I always whenever I'm in a situation like that, I will allow the spirit to move through me to do whatever they need to do with the spouse, for example. This lady, I allowed the spirit to move through me, and by doing so, he was able to actually hold her hand and to hug her, and
wow,
and he even came through on the spirit box afterward and said that was just like before. And she could tell you herself if she was up here that it wasn't me that was doing it; it was her husband. Even when I looked at her, she said it wasn't me looking at her; it was her husband's brown eyes, and I have green eyes. So yeah,
wow. Okay. So we're going to cut it short tonight, guys, because like I said, Neil has to go to his channel for 8 o'clock.
yeah.
So we're lucky enough that he gave us the time he gave us. So we're going to be wrapping it up now. Mark, oh, they're chatting away. My
Okay.
wonderful, awesome friends. I want you guys to have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see all of you in your next videos.
Oh yeah,
Much
definitely.
love to you all. Goodbye.
Hey, and you guys remember, go to my channel, man, and like, subscribe. Come on, be a
Yes,
part of the Nocturnal Nation.
you won't regret this. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, and broadcast ended. Is it ended?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, thank you so much for having me on, Sandra.
Oh, it
Uh,
was more my pleasure. Oh, we're still on.
oh, we are. Hey guys, what's up? Yeah, we